A day after India and the United States issued a joint statement condemning Pakistan-sponsored terrorism, India has now slammed and exposed Pakistan at the UN Human Rights Council, naming Pakistan as the global hub of terrorism. Speaking at the 43rd session of the Human Rights Council, senior diplomat and former spokesperson for the Ministry of External Affairs, Vikas Farooq, revealed how Pakistan has been the world's largest exporter of terror and violence. He re-emphasized how Jammu and Kashmir was, is and will forever remain an integral part of the country.
Speaking of terrorism, it is only logical to respond to the remarks made by the delegation of Pakistan, which is the epicenter of global terrorism. It is more than a little ironical that the nation that has become the world's leading exporter of terror and violence seeks to lecture others about human rights.
India also urged the UNHRC for global action against terror havens and a crackdown on countries that support and sponsor terrorists operating on their soil.
Another global challenge that we all confront is of terrorism. It is the most pernicious violation of a fundamental human right, that is, the right to life. As a nation that has suffered from decades from cross-border terrorism, India calls for decisive action against those who direct, control, fund, abet or shelter terrorists. We are happy to note that the HRC Advisory Committee is working on a report on this issue. We remain ready to work with all partners to fully stop all support from reaching terrorists, denying terrorists access to safe havens, and extraditing and bringing to justice perpetrators of terrorism and their supporters.
Earlier, Pakistan's Minister for Human Rights, Shireen Mazari, alleged that India continued to violate the human rights of the Kashmiri people and demanded a repeal of the steps taken by India on the 5th of August last year, to which India, in its right of reply, said that Pakistan is attempting to create a storm in a teacup and advised Pakistan to focus on the condition of the minorities in their own country instead of spewing lies.
The international community has abundantly witnessed the subsequent hysterical reactions of Pakistan at various fora that only attempted to create a storm in the teacup, but unwittingly implied that democratic traditions and religious tolerance are not Pakistan's cup of tea. As the biggest victim of cross-border terrorism emanating from this pernicious cradle of terrorism, we would like to inform this council that Pakistan is a country whose former president and prime ministers, including the incumbent one, have openly acknowledged the support and interoperational linkages between the state machinery and the UN-proscribed terrorist organizations. Pakistan is a country that has considerably shrunk the size of its minority communities since independence. Madam Vice President, Jammu and Kashmir has been, is and will continue to be an integral part of India, and Pakistan should cease to covet it. We ask Pakistan that instead of spewing lies for a self-serving mendacious propaganda, work constructively and devote equal attention to protection and promotion of human rights and minorities in Pakistan. Before preaching others on human rights, Pakistan must remember that terrorism is the worst form of human rights abuse.